Hi guys, hey my loves, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Kindly make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Please subscribe if you haven't yet and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload. I love today's video because today's video is about faith. I'm about to encourage someone's faith today, and this is the miracle of Jesus healing a daughter of a foreign woman. It is called Jesus honors a Syrophoenician woman's faith. That is in Mark chapter 7 from verses 24 to 30. Go and read that story by yourself. It's not a common story that we talk about when it comes to faith, but it spoke to me the day I read that chapter. And I'm gonna read my notes. Hey guys, just from this one short story, I actually wrote a bunch of notes. It's like 2 pages, so I hope it's going to bless you guys. So yeah, Jesus' intention in Tyre was to be quiet and silent. He was actually coming into Tyre and just going directly. It wasn't his intention to heal anyone, so he did not intend to perform a miracle in Tyre. Ezekiel 28 describes the devil as the king of Tyre. This means this place was bound with everyone in it, meaning kuna watu who are bound. There are people who are bound by the enemy and God cannot do anything about it. Yes, it reminds me, because the devil has a legal ground over you, so God can't do anything about it. He's waiting for you to do something about it. Whew, I love this one. So there are people who are bound by the enemy and God cannot do anything about it. Not because God does not want to, but because you lack knowledge of the situation or the place you are in. Knowledge is the beginning of deliverance. That's why we say sometimes we are waiting on God, but God is waiting on us. Another verse that comes to mind is, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Immediately this woman got the knowledge of Jesus being in the town of Tyre, she acted fast and immediately to the news. Probably the news, obviously the news did not get her in the house. She was outside, maybe in the market, because who gets news in their house anyway? She was a woman of faith. That's why she acted on the news. Now, this place being bound, probably everyone else was bound by the enemy. Probably they could not read the atmosphere to know what is happening. This woman was a foreigner in this place. Probably her child was possessed by the unclean or impure spirit or monitoring spirit the moment she moved here, because she's a woman of faith. If you're a woman of faith, the enemy is not supposed to have power over you to bound, to get bound hold on you, you get. So this woman was probably okay wherever she is until she moved to this town of Tyre, and boom, the daughter was bound. She read the atmosphere. She knew her daughter needed deliverance, and when the opportunity came, she did not waste time. This woman had something everybody else in Tyre did not have, and that is faith and spiritual sensitivity. Probably she did not stay long in this place, because if she did, she would have been diluted because of the atmosphere around you. Maybe that's why Jesus appeared right on time and left immediately, because it's obvious she's the only miracle in that place. The more people, or the longer her news reached people, or if her news spread, they will have been delivered too, because honestly, impure spirits don't just affect one person, they affect many. It's an atmosphere thing. That is so true. Unclean spirits act on atmospheres. That's why they always don't have to possess you, that is, be inside of you for them to affect you. They can just be around you, influencing you. Yeah, I learned that from a sermon by Prophet Lovey that talks about unclean spirits, guys. Unclean spirits can just be hovering around you through the association of people around you. Guys, be careful of the power of association. So anyway, let's continue. They can be influencing around you without your knowledge. That is still bondage from the enemy. You're still bound. That's why this woman was wise. She was spiritually sensitive. As a woman of faith, you should have the characteristic. Another lesson from this story is about moving. She moved to a place that was the devil's territory. Be careful of the places you move to. Pray about the atmospheres of those places you move to beforehand. Take control of the atmospheres. You let's hear Pastor say Kamata anger. You don't do that. That reminds me, there's a day I was actually reading, I think it's Ephesians chapter 2 from verse 1 and 2 that talked about the enemy having control over the air. That is through the atmosphere. Guys, pray for the atmosphere around you, of the places you want to move to, even the house you want to move into, because unclean spirits might just be there waiting for the next person to come in and they start influencing you. And that is bondage, remember, guys. If the atmosphere around you are people are moving, you should tap into that and prepare to move. It's the same thing when if people around you maybe are getting married or getting proposed to you, you need to be spiritually sensitive to tap into that grace before it disappears. Please don't be jealous of people who maybe your friends are moving abroad or your friends are getting good things. Be happy for them, because when you're happy for them, you tap into that grace. When you get jealous of them, it disappears away from you, so you can't tap into that grace. That's another lesson that I learned. There are graces in the atmosphere. I call them hanging miracles. You pick them from the atmosphere. If you're not sensitive, you miss it, which it will make you suffer or even wait more longer. That's from verses 24 to 30. Oh, guys, go and read that Mark chapter 7 and you learn about the atmosphere. So that is what today's video is about. I hope from what I've read, you've understood something about the atmosphere and having faith. You need to have faith no matter the atmosphere around you. And please, if you can change your atmosphere today, I'm reminding you to go and change your atmosphere. And your atmosphere includes your friends. If you don't go to fellowships, please start going to fellowships, because you're affecting, you're influencing your atmosphere. The places that you step into, you're influencing your atmosphere. Actually, I remember watching a testimony by James Kawalia. I love that name, Kawalia. The Ugandan who was an ex-witch and was delivered, and now he's a pastor. And he mentioned something like this, that the power of your association gives the enemy a legal ground to attack you. Your friends can stain your garment, and he explained that spiritually the garment is not the way as we see. It's not the clothes. You can be having clothes in the physical, but in the spiritual you're actually naked. So when you stain your garment, it means that it's no longer spotless. Now Jesus, thank you Holy Spirit, Jesus came so that he can sanctify us and present us to himself as spotless, as blameless. So he's sanctifying us to present us to himself, yeah, because he is God. Now those spots are those things that we are talking about. Your association can influence on your garment and make your garment have stain, yet it's supposed to be stainless. So if you know that your environment is not friendly or is not, you know, your atmosphere, your friends are not godly, they don't have that information about God, they're not believers, please pray that God will send you to a community that does that, because they will stain your garments. Now I don't know what you've learned from this video. Kindly leave a comment down below what you've learned from that story about faith. Have faith like this woman, so that you and be spiritually sensitive. Faith and spiritual sensitivity are very good for you to read your atmosphere and know what's happening in the air. You know what's happening in the airwaves. If you're not prayerful, you will not know this, honey. You get spiritually sensitive through prayers. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned something though. Let me know in the comments. Spiritually sensitivity, atmosphere, kamata anga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.